and click the record button. Like, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to start promptly here. Maybe a few more participants will join in the next few minutes here. But thank you, good evening, and thank you again for joining me today to learn more about the University of Calgary and what studying here could look like for you. I am Carly, and I am a student recruitment advisor at the University of Calgary, and I am just so glad to be able to be here to share some information about UCalgary with you, especially being a graduate myself. And throughout today's session, I will be including some snippets of my own personal experience as a University of Calgary student. If you have any questions at all, feel free to send them in the message. And I am also happy to address them at the end of the presentation during the Q&A session as well. And I will also be providing some links throughout the presentation in the Zoom chat box for you to have handy and to refer to after the presentation as well. Before I begin, I just wanted to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising of the Siksika, Piikani, and the Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nations and the Stoney Nakoda. I just like to start my presentations with treaty acknowledgement, especially as our university is located within really valuable territories, and I want to pay my respect to those, as well as the land that I had my university experiences on as well. Just another point before I dive into all of the amazing content to be covered today, I want to invite you to have a look at our Canadian students Viewbook, which is just a QR code on the left, and I will also just provide a link in the chat box there. The Viewbook includes a lot of resources about our institution that range from student life and quick facts about our university to programs and admission requirements. So there are definitely a lot of important information available to you on the in the International Viewbook. So definitely a great one to have handy. But just jumping into the topics here, I want to start off by briefly introducing the province in which our city as well as our institution is located in. As you are from Quebec, as this presentation is for students from Quebec, you might be familiar with all of the territories and provinces within Canada already, and you might already have a rough idea of where Alberta is, as well as what Alberta is all about. But definitely our university, the University of Calgary, is located within the beautiful province of Alberta, just located between British Columbia as well as Saskatchewan, just so you have a clear idea. And as you can see on the slide, Alberta is home to the beautiful Rocky Mountains. So you'll definitely be able to experience a lot of incredible scenery throughout the 4 seasons of the year. But not only that, Alberta is also home to 5 national parks, as well as a lot of ski resorts for you to dive into activities over there in the great outdoors as well. But one thing to highlight about Alberta is that we are relatively cheaper compared to other provinces, and this is due to having no provincial sales tax, as well as one of the highest minimum wages in all of the country. So if you are looking to work part-time or work within the province, Alberta is definitely a great place to live as well as study in, as you will definitely gain more value for your dollar here. But of course, the University of Calgary is located within the city of Calgary, located just on the southern quadrant of Alberta. Calgary is definitely an exciting city to live and study in, being the #1 most liberal city in all of North America. I have been here for the past 13 years, and I have also completed my entire undergraduate studies within Calgary. And I have to say that my favorite part of Calgary is the fact that we are Canada's sunniest major city with 333 sunny days per year. This is exceptionally beneficial, especially if you are looking at spending some time outdoors in the city or 1 hour in the beautiful Rocky Mountains. And I would really encourage it, as there are are a lot of activities you can do in the city, such as dining at 9 of Canada's top 100 restaurants or biking along North America's most extensive pathway and bikeway network as well. Having so many sunny days also means that you will be able to camp, hike, snowboard, and ski out in the mountains numerous times in the year, regardless of the season, whether it is summer, spring, winter, or fall. But in terms of employment, as Calgary is a young, vibrant, and ever-growing city, there are plenty of opportunities for students like you, graduates like me, as well as professionals within various industries here in terms of employment. Having the highest concentration of high-tech workers in Canada and being number 2 in the country for most small businesses, there are numerous opportunities for you to start something of your own here, whether it is your own little business, a boutique, a restaurant, anything is possible here within the city. But diving into the University of Calgary itself, our institution is the 6th top research university in Canada, as well as a top entrepreneurial university. What this really means is that we highly value research, thinking outside the box and bringing your ideas to life. We have a lot of sponsorship that goes towards funding various research areas, and we have had over 390 new innovations since 2017, and with this number only continuing to grow as each year, with more students bringing more ideas and creating something of their own. So as a result of that, there are definitely a lot of opportunities for you to excel here alongside brilliant classmates and knowledgeable professors. But not only that, UCalgary is home to 28,000 undergraduate students, and 14% of those students are international students. So our campus is very diverse with over 144 different countries represented, and you will be able to meet a lot of students from Calgary, from different cities within Canada, as well as there's a lot of students from different countries all around the world. This next slide here, you can see an aerial view of our main university campus. And as a student, you will be spending a lot of your time on these grounds. So it's very important to understand what the campus life is like, as well as where each building is. But as you can see, our campus is very close with nature. There's a lot of green spaces as well as greenery. But just to put things into perspective, so you have an idea of how far the buildings are from each other, it takes around 10 to 15 minutes to walk from the residence building on the top of the map all the way to the transit station on the far left, depending on how fast you walk. But a lot of our buildings are connected through tunnels and bridges to shield you from the cold air in those colder winter months. So as a result of that, you will definitely be able to go from class to class without having to go outside. So you can wear shorts and a t-shirt all year long if that is your most clothing choice or a clothing choice you like to have most. On campus, we also have a dental clinic, a medical office, a pharmacy, and even a hair salon for you to utilize throughout your studies in order to really make sure that you are not taking time out of your studies to go to the optometrist or to grab something quick from the pharmacy. Surrounding the campus are also various places you can adventure to after classes, such as the Market Mall just on the far right. And the Market Mall is around a 10-minute bus ride from campus. And you can also go from a campus to downtown Calgary via the transit station. And it's only a 10 to 15-minute train ride as well. And this is all very accessible, especially as when you are a student, you will be able to use transit unlimitedly with your university pass. It is really just a sticker on your university ID card, which you will have on you anyways. And this UPass is included within your tuition and fees. So you'll be able to get anywhere from campus just with the university pass within the city. But jumping into campus life here, as you will be coming from Quebec, you're probably looking into staying on campus, and I would really recommend it as it is very convenient. We do offer residence to students from everywhere, meaning you will be able to meet a lot of different students from Calgary, from different cities within the country or different countries entirely. But one key point to note about residence is that if you apply before the May 1st deadline, in the first 2 years of your studies, you'll be offered a 2-year residence guarantee, guaranteeing you a room on campus to return to for the first 2 years of your studies. And if you do decide to live on campus, first-year students are required to sign up for the 5 or 7 day meal plan. But the meal plan is incredibly beneficial as it will save you a lot of headache and time that comes with planning your meals, grocery shopping, or cooking. Part of the meal plan will be having your meals at the dining center that you see just a little picture of on the slide there. And a good way to picture the dining center is sort of like a buffet style where you can walk in, you can swipe your university card, walk in, look around you, see what is available, see what you want to eat, and just grab them as you see them. And it's really that simple. There are a lot of options available at our dining center if you have any dietary restrictions or if you're looking to just grab a quick snack between classes. So I would really recommend staying on campus as it is a great way to meet other students as well as allow you to wake up just 5 minutes before classes. Other than meeting students through residence or through different classes that you'll be taking, we also have over 300 different school clubs for you to join to meet other students with similar passions, backgrounds, or interests as you. These clubs can range from hobbies such as singing, dancing, skiing, or photography to areas of interest such as coffee, K-pop, anime, Smash Bros, and we even have a sandwich club if you're very passionate about sandwich clubs. If there is something you are interested in and you want to meet other students in, there is a high chance that we have a club on campus for you. But if not, we also encourage students to create a club of their own. Throughout my 4.5 years at the University of Calgary, there was not a single year where I did not participate in a school club. And I can definitely say that a lot of my closest friends to this day, as well as a lot of relationships I created, stemmed from joining those student clubs during my studies. So I'd really highly encourage you to look into it as it is a great way to maximize your university experience. I am going to paste just a couple of links in the chat box there for you to look more into residence as well as joining a school club. The second link will lead you to a long list of the different clubs available at the University of Calgary currently. Another way for you to really be connected with the campus community is by joining a varsity team if you're interested in competitive sports. At the University of Calgary, our varsity teams are called the Dinos, and they compete with other teams from other institutions across the country. And you can see a list of teams that we have at the University of Calgary on the slide, but I would really recommend going onto our website at godinos.com. If you're interested in joining a competitive team, maybe you are really good at volleyball or hockey, and you're already part of a national team and you're looking into it for your post-secondary studies, I really recommend going onto our website, reaching out to the coach to inquire about tryouts as well as eligibility, and they'll be able to provide more information on how to join the team. But if you are the type that likes to keep active on a more personal level, maybe by yourself or with a couple of friends, there are also many ways for you to do so. Access to all of the amenities that you see on the slide there are included within your school fees. So you won't have to worry about paying every time you want to go work out at the fitness center or every time you want to go swimming at the aquatic center or skate at the Olympic Oval, which, fun fact, is home to the fastest ice in the whole world due to how many world records were broken here. And as a result of that, you will definitely be able to see a lot of athletes coming from different countries around the world. They come to University of Calgary to utilize our amenities here. But of course, as the University of Calgary is located so close to the beautiful Rocky Mountains, if you wanted to go out there to ski, snowboard, or to canoe, you can also rent equipment from our outdoor center, which is the largest of its kind in North America. This way, you can try out various activities without having to fully commit to buying the full set of equipment just yet, which can be quite expensive. And as a student, you might not know what activities you really like over the other yet, and Outdoor Center will definitely allow you to try out different activities as a student here. But as you can see, outside of studying, outside of attending classes, there are many ways for you to stay connected with the campus community. And we really do encourage students to maintain a well-balanced lifestyle outside of just classes and the academics, and it is very important for your well-being. And we're also here to support you every step of the way throughout your journey with us. And that is why we do have a lot of support services for students on campus. University is, of course, this huge new step in your life. And although it can be an exciting journey, it can come with some hardships as well. And this is why we are committed to ensuring students like you are being well supported throughout your university experience. As you can see on the slide, we offer a variety of resources and supports on campus, depending on the specific area that you are looking for more guidance in. For example, as a student, I utilize the Student Success Center a lot, especially in terms of writing support, just for that extra help on all of the papers I had to write, as well as the peer-led study sessions for me just to understand the course material better. A quick snippet into the peer-led study sessions. These sessions are led by students who have completed the course that you're currently taking in the past, and they have excelled, and they are taking the time to help current students taking the class. This is very beneficial, as you will be able to learn some tips and tricks from these students themselves that can further your studies within the class, depending on the course that you are signing up for these sessions for. But on the other side of that, we also have career services to help ease all the stress that comes job hunting during your degree or after your degree. And we also have student wellness services who is ready to help you maintain a good mental health throughout your studies by counseling services, as well as a lot of activities for you to join as well. So definitely a lot of support on campus for you. And I would encourage you to reach out if you are ever experiencing any challenges during your time with us, as we are consistently always looking for new ways to expand our offerings, as well as the supports offered on campus. We are really here not only to support you during your time as a University of Calgary student, but also in setting you up for success after graduating as well. But another way to really maximize the university experience is through studying, volunteering, or working abroad through the University of Calgary. I am sure that you probably love to travel and you're excited to see the world again post-pandemic. But at the University of Calgary, you will be able to complete University of Calgary courses and pay University of Calgary tuition. And the only thing that will be different is where your classroom is. So definitely this way, either through studying, working, or volunteering abroad, you will be able to visit other countries in the world without prolonging your degree, and which will keep you on track towards your academic plans. During my studies, I spent 2 months volunteering in Taiwan and 1 month studying abroad in Japan. So if those two countries are countries you're interested in, plenty of opportunities there. But not only did both of these opportunities provide me with unforgettable memories, they also gave me a lot of stories and experiences for me to share with other students, colleagues, and potential employers. So as a result, this is a great way for you to just add a little bit of something else into your degree here outside of studies, and it'll really create a lot of stories and experiences that you can utilize not only during your time as a student, but afterwards as well, when you're just looking for those different scenarios, those different stories to share with employers during those interviews. A lot of it can come from these experiences as well. So it's a great way for you to see the world, gain some experience, as well as create unforgettable memories. Outside of globalizing your degree, we also have a lot of opportunities for you to gain some professional experience to kickstart your career after graduating. This way, you do not actually have to wait until graduating to know what it is like to work in the field that you're interested in. And this will also give you the chance to see whether the career path you are pursuing is the right one for you. But depending on the faculty that you wish to be a part of, whether it is nursing, arts, business, or engineering, work integrated learning opportunities can look a little bit different, ranging from co-op and internship placements to practicums and paid research. You can expect to work for a lot of amazing companies within Calgary, within different cities within Canada, as well as in different countries all around the world as well. Some examples I can see on the slide there do include oil and gas firms within the city, such as Suncor and Husky, but there are also many opportunities within the University of Calgary as well. For example, you could join my team as a co-op student for a year if that is something that you're interested in. So definitely a great way for you to gain some professional experience, to spice up your resume, and to help you propel yourself forward in your life after your studies. Before I dive into the more specifics here regarding programs and admission requirements, I do want to welcome you and encourage you to have a look at some of the upcoming events we have lined up for prospective students, just for you to have a deeper look into what the University of Calgary is all about and what studying here could look like for you. As you are in Quebec, it might be a little bit challenging to come all the way to Calgary for a campus tour. I really welcome you if you are able to come visit us in person, but if not, there's also a lot of online digital events as well as a virtual campus tour for you to have a look into our campus and see what our campus is like digitally. My colleague conducts very extensive campus tours, walking you through residence buildings, lecture rooms, all the different buildings on campus to give you a really big peek into what studying here could really look like. I will also paste a link just in the chat box there for upcoming events and tours for you to have a look. But of course, at the University of Calgary, we do have a lot of programs and faculties for you to choose from. We have 8 main undergraduate faculties that you see on the slide there. And amongst these 8 faculties are over 250 different programs and combinations. If you're looking to complete any combined degrees, any dual degrees, or minor programs, there are many ways for you to customize your degree. I would really encourage you to have a look at our Viewbook. That was the first link that I linked on the top of the Zoom chat box there. I'm not sure if you saw anything, but I'll just paste everything again here. As mentioned, our Viewbook is a great tool to have to look at all of the different programs you have. But another one that I do want to provide is our Explore Programs page. Each of our programs has its own program page detailing just a little bit more information about the program, such as career prospects, a degree guide, look into what courses you'll be taking, as well as admission requirements. So definitely welcome you to have a look. This slide and the next few slides here includes a complete list of all of the different programs offered at the University of Calgary. For the interest of time, I won't be listing each program out, but I do welcome you to find this complete list in our Viewbook as well as our Explore Programs page. But we do have the Faculty of Arts, which is the largest faculty here at the University of Calgary, home to a lot of different bachelor degrees depending on different areas that you're interested in. We have the Haskayne School of Business, home to the competitive co-op program, where a lot of students gain some real-world corporate experience. I also graduated from the Haskayne School of Business with a concentration in international business, so I do have a lot to share if you're interested in business. We have the Faculty of Science with a lot of field study options, especially within our different biological concentrations. There's a lot of opportunities for you to have your classroom outside, as well as a lot of lab opportunities, a lot of research opportunities here under the Faculty of Science. We have the Cummings School of Medicine, a great choice if you are interested in medicine, but just a word of caution that we do not have a pre-med program at the University of Calgary, but our Bachelor of Health Sciences, as well as a lot of our Faculty of Science programs, are great foundation programs to further your studies within the medical, or kind of give you a starting point within the medical field. And we have the Faculty of Nursing, home to one of the top nursing programs in the country. We had Workland School of Education with a variety of pathways depending on the type of teacher you want to become. We have the Schulich School of Engineering with a lot of different concentrations as well. Well, a quick note about engineering is that all students complete a common first year before diving into the concentration. So you'll be able to have a sneak peek into what engineering is all about before you dive into maybe mechanical, civil, or chemical engineering per se. And lastly, we have the Faculty of Kinesiology, which is the #1 faculty in all of North America. So as you can see, there are a lot of different programs here. I would really encourage you to have a look at all of these different programs if you're unsure on what programs you wish to study, but if you have maybe 1 or 2 already in mind that you would like to learn more about, please do let me know at the end, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. But after you have had a look at the different programs we offer, or maybe you already have a few in mind that you would like to pursue for post-secondary studies, The next step would be to look at the admission requirements of the program to make sure that you will be able to be admitted into the program. Admission is competitive into University of Calgary and is based on 5 faculty-specific grade 12 high school subjects. What this really means is that each faculty has 5 courses that you must have completed within your senior year, your grade 12 level, in order to be admitted. And your admission average will be calculated using those 5 courses as well. And your admission average must meet the estimated competitive average of the program you wish to study. And so really, to kind of summarize admission requirements here, there are 3 points. First, you will have to complete the required courses for your program. Second, you will need to meet the admission average of your desired program. And lastly, all students must demonstrate English language proficiency. But in Quebec, I do recognize that some students end up completing the DEC or the DCS here. And in this case, it really depends on how many years of the DEC you are completing. For example, if you are in the process of completing your first year, or you have completed less than 1 year by the time you apply to the University of Calgary, you'll be evaluated using high school requirements such as what I mentioned earlier. But if you have completed 1 or more years by the time you apply to University of Calgary, you'll be evaluated as a transfer student. And that process can look a little bit different, with your admission average being calculated using your DEC credits instead. So I would really recommend connecting with us regarding academic history. Maybe you are completing 1 year or 2 year, or maybe you are not completing it at all and just want to confirm. Please do connect with us so we can provide some specific admission requirements for you depending on academic history, as it can look a little bit different depending on the courses that you have completed and what your studies looks like. But just to give an example of admission requirements here, let's say that you are not completing the DEC, or you will only be completing half of a year in the DEC by the time you apply. We will be looking at 5 courses here for computer science, hypothetically, if you're interested in computer science. But we will be looking at English, mathematics, 2 sciences, and 1 other approved course or option. And we would use those 5 courses to calculate your average, which must meet the competitive average of high 80s. And this is only for computer science. This will look very different if you are interested in our Faculty of Arts or engineering or business. So I would really recommend having a look at our Viewbook or our Explore Programs page to really see what the admission requirements for your specific academic history, as well as the program that you're interested in. And if you have any questions, do feel free to reach out to us. As mentioned, all of this could look a bit different if you're completing a DEC or the DCS, and we are here to support you in kind of deciphering all of this information and organizing it all. After reviewing the admission requirements for your desired program, your next step would be, of course, to apply to University of Calgary. The application is very simple, and you can apply directly on our website. I will just copy and paste the link here for you to have handy. Yes, you can use that link to apply to our undergraduate programs, and applications for our fall 2022 term, which begins September of next year, have already opened. So welcome you to apply as soon as possible. One thing to know about the application is that you'll be able to apply for 2 programs, a first choice as well as a second choice program. This first choice program is, of course, the program you wish to study the most. And then you have a second choice program that I would recommend for it to have lower admission requirements in case that you are not admissible into your first choice program. And this is because if you are not admissible into your first choice program, we would automatically evaluate you for your second choice. So just another option for you there. But definitely welcome you to apply as soon as possible, just to get a head start in the entire application process, as there are deadlines coming up, and the entire admission application process can be quite lengthy as well. After applying for admissions, you will gain access to your student center, where you'll be able to upload all of the documents that are needed to support your evaluation. Typical documents include your high school transcripts as well as proof of English language proficiency if required. So definitely after applying for admissions, you will be able to upload all those documents through the to-do list on your student center. And one important note here is for you that you submit all of the documents as soon as possible, as an evaluation cannot actually be conducted until all your documents have been submitted. This slide here also gives you a step-by-step process of the entire process from the moment you apply all the way to when you are accepted to the University of Calgary. And I would recommend or really advise for you to keep an eye on your student center as well as on your email for any important updates regarding your admission application, as our admissions team will be reaching out to you via those two channels if there are anything kind of preventing your file from being moved forward or if they require any additional documents. So very important that you remain vigilant and keep an eye on Student Center and email. After you have applied for admission and after you have submitted all of the documents that are needed, you can, of course, then look into applying for the numerous awards available for incoming high school students. I see that you have a couple of good questions there, and my colleague is here to answer all those. Let's see if she can address that question, but if not, I'm happy to answer that at the end. But I just wanted to kind of wrap up awards here. So after you submit all of your documents, you can definitely look into applying for the numerous awards available for incoming high school students. As you can see on the slide, there are three main types of awards. Prestige awards is our highest value scholarships. They can range up to $25,000 per award. And they can be renewed as well, depending on the specific award. Because they are highest value scholarships, the application commitment is a little bit longer. There are some short answer essay questions for you to answer, but you can apply through your student center. But because the entire process for prestige awards is a little bit longer, the deadline to apply is December 1st. So right now we are kind of sitting on the beginning of November. So you have less than a month to apply for prestige awards. I would really recommend applying as soon as possible if you have not, for you to upload all of the documents and for you to apply for prestige awards before the December 1st deadline. So really the next few weeks here would be the prime spot or prime time. The next award is high school entrance awards, and these awards can range from $500 to $10,000 depending on the award. Application for high school entrance awards are very simple. You can apply through your student center as well. And it's a very quick application, just a series of yes or no questions for us to understand your academic history as well as your high school studies more in depth. And the deadline to apply is March 1st, which is also the same deadline for applications. And next, there are automatic awards. Automatic awards do not have a formal application you need to fill out. They are automatically awarded based off of your calculated admission average. As mentioned, your admission average will be calculated using those 5 specific faculty courses are required. And if we see that your average hits a certain threshold, the automatic awards will be given. For example, our President's Admission Scholarship is awarded automatically. It's the $5,000 if we see that your admission average is 95% or higher. So if you're looking for a number to aim for as you complete your studies here, I would really recommend 95% or higher. And last note about awards here is that you do not actually need to wait for an offer to be made before applying for awards. So normally I would recommend students to apply for awards as they finish uploading all of their documents and as they are waiting for a decision to be made. That is just kind of the great period of time in the application process for you to use that time to apply for awards. Just for you to have an idea of what costs could look like for your first year of studies, you can see on the slide here that breaks down tuition, fees, as well as residence, meal plan, and living expenses. So adding all of these numbers up, you'll be looking at roughly $20,000 per year if you are to live on campus and have the meal plan. But this estimation includes everything you could possibly think of spending money on, such as living expenses, pens, notebooks, meals, as well as tuition. I do want to highlight that included in your fees is the UPass that I mentioned earlier that gives you unlimited access of the transit system here within the city, as well as access to all of the amenities on campus. And our institution is a little bit on a more affordable side compared to other major institutions in the country. But to support you in financing your studies, there are also many awards, as mentioned previously, as well as the opportunity for you to work part-time and apply for student loans. If you have any concerns in this area, feel free to reach out to us and we can kind of see what options are available, as well as break down the costs. But one resource that I do want to provide here is our cost estimator. Our cost estimator will allow you to more accurately estimate the cost of your first year of studies, depending on selections regarding faculty, residents, and kind of whether you are a Canadian or international citizen. So definitely great tool to utilize. As well as for awards, this next link here will lead you to our awards page where you can look further into what awards are available at the University of Calgary. Before I conclude here, I just wanted to provide a quick list of important dates coming up for you to keep in mind. As mentioned, applications for fall 2022 have opened and they will close March 1st of next year. And although the deadline to apply is not until March 1st, I do want to stress that it is important that you apply as soon as possible, in order to submit all of your documents early on, as well as the sooner you have all your documents in, the sooner an evaluation can be conducted. And yeah, I would just really highlight to keep all of these dates in mind, and it's always better to apply early than to apply late. A lot of students can be hesitant to apply early as they are kind of on the fence regarding what programs they are interested in, and they don't want to set anything in stone. But I want to highlight that you will be able to make changes regarding application all the way up until March 1st. So for example, if you apply today and you maybe applied for psychology, but later on in January, you decide that psychology is not the one for you anymore, and you want sociology instead, you will definitely be able to make that choice on your application. So don't be afraid to apply. You're not setting anything in stone just yet, but it will give you a head start in the entire process, just to make sure that you are not falling behind in terms of any deadlines at that, and that you'll be evaluated in time. You can also find all of these important dates on our website, as well as in the Viewbook, just for you to have handy if you ever forget when the deadlines for certain aspects of the admission process are, or feel free to reach out to us as well. As mentioned, I welcome you to connect with me, connect with our team at the University of Calgary if you have any questions along the way when you start applying to University of Calgary, or maybe you're just curious about the city of Calgary or about our university in terms of food options or anything like that. Anything that you're curious about, do feel free to reach out to us via email or WhatsApp. I will also welcome you to have a look at our various social media channels to have a peek into what students have to say about the University of Calgary experience. For example, our podcast is a great tool for you to just hear from students themselves what their studies at the University of Calgary have been like, as well as students' experiences in different faculties. As mentioned, as Maida mentioned within the Zoom chat box, you can also book an appointment with us. We're happy to meet one-on-one to answer any questions, concerns, or doubts that you have before starting your studies at the University of Calgary. But I do welcome you to stay connected with us, and thank you for joining us today for this webinar session on the University of Calgary. I hope you found it to be helpful and informative in learning more about the University of Calgary. But do you have any questions at the top of your head right now? I see that you already had 2 questions. So definitely, you can meet with us one-on-one via the booking link Maida has provided. The deadline for early admissions, as Maida has mentioned, there is no deadline, but would recommend applying as early as possible. The difference between the standard admission and the early admission is, for early admission, we'll be evaluating you based off of your grade 11 grades and 4 of the required courses instead of 5. So if you apply early enough, we'll be able to look at your grade 11 grades. But if not, if you're not admissible based off of your grade 11 grades, we'll wait for your grade 12 grades and re-evaluate you then. But definitely, in order to have an early evaluation, it is best for you to apply as early as possible. Keeping in mind that the deadline to apply in general is March 1st of next year. Yes, with that, I hope it answered all your questions. Awesome. Happy to hear that you booked an appointment. We are looking forward to meeting you one-on-one. Thank you for joining us today. And I look forward to welcoming you as a UCalgary student. Yeah, with that, if you have no further questions, have a wonderful rest of your evening and take care.